Hi there. Welcome to Passports and Promises. I'm Shalene. From stunning beachfront I-dos to secret travel gems, we're all about real stories from couples who took the leap and celebrated in paradise. Get ready for raw wedding tales, unforgettable laughs, expert travel tips, and those latitude lessons that only true travelers understand. Okay, it is a balmy minus who knows what degrees outside because it is January. What is the date today? The 25th. So if anybody's watching this, this is when Toronto just got bombed with snow. But I'm talking to two people who apparently love snow because they live out in the middle of it.
Hey,
Introduce
right
yourselves.
except
Introduce
Toronto's been being
yourselves, you
hit like
snowmen.
crazy. Ontario's had massive snowstorm. We've barely had to shovel all year. It's going to be
Listen.
+2 tomorrow, and you guys are
Even +6.
Negative
We're 7 and 8
92.
and it's going
It'll
up.
be negative 92 tomorrow.
All right.
Did you hear that last week they said it was supposed to be the coldest place on earth here at some point in Ontario? I think it was yesterday or today. I don't know which day it was, but the news was saying it was going to be the coldest place on earth. I was like, stop it. On Earth?
On Earth. Not Antarctica.
No, Earth. Like the Earth I live on? I was confused. I was so confused. Like, why do I live here? This isn't what happens here. It's Ontario. How am I going to argue with all my American friends that it's not colder here than it is there?
That's how I feel talking to people in Ontario now that we've moved.
Yeah. You're like, stop it. Yes, it is cold out there. So, okay, don't remind me that you don't have snow. Ha, ha, ha. Introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm Abena. This is my husband, Josh.
And they're cute, and I love them. And I've known them for so long. I have known you two since I was 8 months pregnant at Canada's bridal show, which I'm about to post that picture on Instagram because I look back at it now and I'm like, why was I working at a 3-day show and I was due in 3 weeks? Like,
oh man,
this is so cute. But I remember, okay, so I tell people this all the time and they think I'm joking. When I do the bridal show and it's the 3 days, I don't pack up at the end of each show, each day, because we always meet someone awesome, like at the last minute. Like literally everybody else is gone. They put their boots on, they're walking out, and I'm like, I'm not leaving. And you guys are one of the reasons because I remember we met literally at the end of that day.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was like folding up their stuff. They had their coats on, and I wait. There's always magic at the end. So we met January 2017. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. You guys have been married forever now. You're going to be year 10, what, in 2028, right?
2028, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And we're planning to renew our vows in 2028.
Yes, we would like to do that.
Here we go.
Well, we want to go back.
Oh, do you? Yeah. Okay, so let me tell everybody where you got married because I was going to talk about how we nailed it down because I was looking at it. But you two were married at Moon Palace in Cancun. Mm-hmm. And since then, and I'm sure you haven't been back, there is now a new property beside it called the Grand. It is grand. Like, I stayed there for a week and I was like, what? I couldn't even get through it all, but it was beautiful. So we can look at that.
Okay.
We'll look at that. Okay. That'll be a return trip. But I remember when we started, we were really looking at different dates as well. We were, we had to consider school for you two. We had to consider where, like if it was going to be Mexico. Right. And I think we looked at a few other places, but we ended up settling there because it seemed more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about the beach. And back then the beach at Moon Palace was actually wonderful. Now it's had some challenges. A lot of Mexico has, but we picked that resort, but that was not where we started. I think we started with a Hard Rock. We were trying to win that Hard Rock contest.
Yes.
We tried. We tried so hard. But then we looked at the prices. It was like, never mind. Maybe not.
And
maybe not Hard Rock, but Moon Palace is very close second.
Right. And I know I didn't want to be right in Cancun. I kept saying, like, I don't want to be where it's going to be party central. I don't want to be disturbed by all the young people just come in. Like, I just really wanted to, I don't want to be away, but I want to, like, I want to be, so being in like Mine Riviera, like just like right in the middle, like that was
Riviera Cancun area. I was looking at some of our old stuff because listen, I'm getting old and I usually can remember, but I couldn't. I remember we had a whole conversation where we were looking at the room count, we were looking at the size and the distance from the airport. And I know those are very big factors for you too. This is also back in the day when we didn't have Chat GPT and I actually had to know the answers to these things. I was like, wait a minute, research and reading brochures. There were brochures then. Oh my God. What a world. So what made you two decide to have a destination wedding in the first place?
That's a good question. You want to start?
Well, it was a mix of things. So originally, like where we first started entertaining the idea was after we went to one of her friends' wedding. She was in a wedding party for a destination wedding
in Jamaica
in 2016. And that first planted the idea that, okay, maybe this is something that we'd entertain. But after I proposed and we started planning, it wasn't like immediate, like we're going to go that route. We looked at having a traditional kind of wedding at home or near where we lived or whatever. But as I always say, like the destination wedding was a good excuse to invite people to who didn't want to come so that they could come. So we had been together for.
Wait a minute, let's stop. It's not that they didn't want you to come.
Well, no, we didn't want
the numbers get too big and the lines get blurred on who's family and who's not. And I'm saying that for your friends and family.
That's fair.
Like,
no,
they knew they are.
They'll never know which ones we were hoping wouldn't come or not, right?
Oh, you're right. I won't tell them about your A list and your B list.
It wasn't like specific people. It was just like, well, then they can't say they weren't invited.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the magic of this. You can invite everybody. I remember when I had mine, I invited coworkers. I invited everybody.
Yeah.
Whoever wanted to pay was who was going to actually be there, right?
For sure.
Exactly.
And yeah, we had been together for 10 years. We were together from when we were teens. So we've been together for 10 years by the time the wedding came about. A little less from when I proposed. But she has a huge family that wanted to invite everybody. When we were looking at a traditional wedding, my guest list, I'm like, I can get it down to small. I can get it down to like 20 people if I need to. I can get it down real tight. But she wanted to invite like 1,000 people.
Yeah, she did.
And
1,002.
and my
you're such an exaggerator.
1,000 people. Like
I don't think that is an exaggeration, to be honest. And my whole thing was, if we've been together for 10 years, we've been together for a decade, and I haven't met them, even some of the ones I have met, if I met you once, but if I haven't met you,
right,
I don't think you need to come to the wedding. And not because anything about, but
not personal.
We're looking to cut back on who we're inviting. If I haven't met you, it's not like we've been together 6 months and we're getting engaged, right? Been together for a decade, right? So it was destination wedding. Aside from the other benefits, one of the ancillary benefits was that to keep kind of peace within her family and to keep kind of people from feeling snubbed or angry or whatever. Right. We're able to invite a lot of people knowing that almost none of them are going to come, but then they can't say they didn't get an invite and they can't say that they weren't included. So it helped keep the peace that way as well.
Somewhat peace.
Somewhat. There's always someone who says, you're so selfish for having a destination wedding. Always. It doesn't matter what group I'm dealing with. Someone's always, and I've only had one person actually say that to the bride, which I was appalled. But yes,
I mean,
there's no way.
Surprise. It didn't even come to me because it did definitely throughout this process. Like people were talking to my mom because I'm African. I got a big family. There's a lot of people. and I was not the first one to have a wedding. And when people had weddings, things happened, I saw the friction that happened when so-and-so didn't get invited, when this happened and this happened. And I think that was also another reason why I was worried to have a wedding here, that even if we decided to have a wedding back in Ontario, I started thinking about like, but what if it's still not enough? And then there's still friction. And my mom got it.
And that's not what you're supposed to be worrying about when it's a wedding to celebrate two people in love, right? It's not supposed to be about whether you had an open bar and it had whatever alcohol, whether it was chicken or steak, whether you accommodated grandma, auntie, uncle, the kids. Like, that's what a wedding at home turns into, unfortunately. It's a party for everybody else, right? And it doesn't focus on you as much as it should. And so, at least in this sense, you get to kind of focus on the people who thought it was important to be there with you, the people who took the time out to make sure they could. And you had a good amount of people who really tried, even the ones that couldn't at the last minute. People really tried to, you know, make payments, move things around. You had a really good group of people who came to support you. And I remember meeting them all at the airport. It was cute.
You did.
Well, it's funny you say that, because we were looking back at some of those pictures recently. Nothing to do with this phone call, but just happened to be. And they were like, "Oh, they're divorced. Oh, they're not together." So, well, so you know, like the spouses of friends and family were like, "Oh, it's amazing how many people are
life
obsolete from this
changes."
photo."
Life changes a lot. Listen, since I talked to you guys, I was having a baby. I'm divorced now, and my babies aren't babies. Like, they're huge. Like, things just change. But it is funny what you capture in photos. You guys used the photographers from Palace, correct? Yeah. So how was your experience with photos? I don't remember hearing anything extremely bad or good, but do you remember? I know a lot of people right now are thinking about bringing their own photographers, but sometimes you find some that are amazing that are at the hotels.
Oh, for sure. And I think with just the advancements of technology and drones, and everybody has a friend who knows a friend and all these things and all this stuff, like if someone were to say to me today that they had or they knew somebody to come on to their wedding and take photos, I'd be like, yeah, you should totally do it. Like, why not?
Yeah,
photography was huge because we were looking at bringing people or a person. We met someone at another wedding. And then when he started talking about like the cost it would be to like bring him, which I mean, obviously we understood some of that, but it would just like, okay, you know what? Like, why don't we just go with the wedding package itself? It's already included. There's no hassle. I don't have to worry about this random person, like all that kind of stuff. And to be honest, like, it took me a while because I was not all the way happy with the photos. The quality.
And it was also because you changed locations. Remember, I think that was part of the challenge. Remember, it rained. And so your outdoor wedding then became an indoor wedding.
Right.
And that changed a lot for you.
Oh, it does.
I remember that.
Sure. I think she's being very polite. I mean, I think so during the actual photography sessions, actually, I think the changing location helped the pictures, because her original plan was like everything on the beach, everything, whatever. But you know, then you got the glare in your eyes and everyone's squinting, and like the super windy by the beach, so everyone's hair is blowing like crazy. So I actually think having it where we had it in like a semi-enclosed glass pavilion where you had like windbreak and whatever ended up helping the pictures of the actual ceremony. So I think that changing location actually helped. So I mean, that's one thing to just think about destination wedding or not, is just like the weather and the outside factors and how it's going to may mess with your pictures. But throughout the process, the photographer kept saying things like, "Oh, we can fix that. We can fix that." Even slightly different things, like when she ordered her bridesmaids, they all had like silk gowns, right? And it was like from one of these Shein-esque places, before Shein, I think before Shein, like one of those things, right? And one of them, they were all great, except one of them was like a slightly different shade, slightly different color. And she was really bothered by that. And the guy's like, no, we can fix it. We can edit that. And that's just one example of like different things throughout the day where we're like, I hate that my hair is going to the side in this picture.
Remember how sunny it was?
I can edit. Yeah. We can edit that. We can edit that. When we got the pictures back, none of them were edited the way he said he was. And in general, I don't think we were really happy with the process. And she was actually really disappointed in our pictures when we first got them back, to the point where we never hung them up and we never had them printed. We never looked at them or showed them to people for years. And then it wasn't until like 5 years later, found like a bunch of old flash drives that we had different things saved on. We were looking through them to see what was on there, and we found the wedding pictures and went through them. And she's like, I actually really like these. She's like, oh, I like this one and I like this one. And we made a whole folder to print. And it's like with time, because I think there was a lot of disappointment in not the pictures themselves, but in kind of what they had kind of promised or what they had said.
The expectations.
And the expectations, that she was really unhappy at first. And then with time and then everything, like you go back and you look and you go, oh, actually, there are some gems. There were still some terrible pictures, but like, yeah. But enough that you like find 20 that you're like, oh, I really like this, and we can put up some around the house, or we can have some saved or whatever. And actually, my screensaver on my computer is one of our wedding pictures, and so with time we liked them more. But I think at the time, if you had asked us like right after the wedding,
I remember, because I don't have one. I don't have one picture. I think all I remember seeing was, did someone record you processing in? I think maybe you'd sent me a video, and that's all I've seen. And I remember my thought was, I felt so bad, which none of us can control the weather, but I remember your decor was meant to be outdoors.
Right.
And then they had to bring it in. And I know it wasn't what you wanted. And I felt like, but I guess it could have been worse. But photos are important. Thank God that things have changed since 2018 even. I mean, when I got married in 2009, my photographer, and I would say this, was the bartender. But he was good. Like, he was good though. So he really should have been a photographer. He was too busy drinking with us at the bar. He probably really should just be taking photos. Now they have like actual dedicated photo teams that are literally comparable to people you could bring. But now they do so much better as well. They have portfolios, and you can pick a photographer that fits your personalities. And, they didn't have that much back then, but, a lot of people have photos that they didn't get a chance to edit like you. And I think that's important to know, that now you get that actual back and forth. And obviously things are more digitalized than they were then. So you could get the photos from them and be like, nope, lighten that, remove that tree that's sticking out behind my head. All the things you can do. You couldn't do that. I wonder if we can get your photos touched up. We should look into that. I might know a guy.
No, I'm not opposed. I mean,
for a girl. Those are people. They could probably help you out. I feel bad about your pictures, but you got to send me a good one now, because I need one. Like, I don't have one for you guys, and I love you guys, so I need a picture. You got to give me one.
We'll give you
the one Josh has on the.
Okay.
You send it out.
Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about Moon Palace itself. Was it what you expected it to be? Like, I know you'd never been there. Based on the research and the information I gave you, do you feel like it was the right place for you guys to be?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it was more than what I ever could have expected. Like, I remember people talking about the floors being marble, and just like the detailed place itself just being so beautiful. Like, I remember your dad commenting so much about the decor, and this is like a man who travels a lot in beautiful places, and the guests were just like, it was one of these moments that people still talk about, and not even just because it was like, oh, it was a vacation for me, but just the whole experience itself is something that it's the aesthetic, the food,
Lots of
The
food.
food
Food.
was insane, and it was beautiful. First, yeah, definitely. What do you remember?
Yeah, no, I mean everyone loved the visual aspect of the resort, right? It certainly was like it lived up to every expectation in terms of quality. So you didn't get there and you weren't like, oh, like
Mhm.
yes, it looks like the pictures, but there's a cracks all over the floor. There
Right.
chip painted, uh, you know, things being painted over or chipping or whatever. Like it, no, it was, and I don't know the age of the resort. I think it was relatively new when we went, right? And so
Mhm.
maybe that also helps, but no, everything was good in terms of it matching or exceeding kind of what we expected
Okay.
visually, and then like the layout was great. The dining options were good. The in some of these places too, you go and like the restaurants that you go to are good, but then like the
Right.
buffets aren't that good. And
Yeah.
but no, this one was not that way at all. It was good across the board. I can talk about the food at the wedding, but if you want to save that for another,
No, let's
uh,
let's talk about that.
no,
How
no,
was the food at the
no, it
wedding?
was so good. So like it was delicious. Like so the food
Mhm.
at the resort in general was good. Like there's no complaints.
Yeah.
Everyone was happy. I didn't hear any of our guests complain.
Mhm.
And so it was really good. But for some reason, even though the things at the wedding, not all of them, I think there might have been some unique-ish things, but almost
Right.
all of it was food you could just get at the resort. But it's
Yeah.
like they made it better. Like they put
Full
extra
of
care,
love.
extra attention to it. Maybe
Mhm.
because it wasn't sitting in a warmer tray. I don't know. Like maybe it was more fresh. I don't
Right.
know, whatever it was. But it was really, really good. The food was really good.
Oh, that
And
is so good to hear.
even the cake that we had, was simple, one tier cake. Like, we didn't get anything crazy fancy. But that was really good. Like that was I ended up taking it back to the resort, back to our room, and I was just
Mhm.
eating it with a fork for the
You didn't
rest of
share
the
with any
Look at her.
cake.
leftovers.
Keep that on the cake.
Like,
And so
"Hi, honeymoon cake."
it was
Like,
it was really, really good. It was really good.
and I'm happy to
That's
hear him say
amazing.
that because I don't remember the food because I didn't eat. Like I was just so like,
Yeah,
everybody
and that's
okay?
usually
Like
how
what's
this
going
is.
on? And I remember
Mhm.
someone telling me, make sure you eat your food. Like make
Right.
sure you get the chance to eat the food. And I told that to somebody else and they were like, that's a really good idea. And I'm like, because I didn't. So I'm glad
Yeah.
it's good.
There's always one person in the couple that is worried more about what's happening,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Around the room with your guests, with your family.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at mine, I don't remember eating at all. We had wedding reception drama. So yes, I didn't eat. I think we had room service. Come back to our room. Yeah, I did not eat. But I don't care where the wedding is, home or away. I feel like that happens.
Mm.
Someone doesn't eat. It's just again, I think it's the psychology of worrying about everybody else, even though they're all really looking at you and they're there for you.
Yeah.
You feel like you're hosting a party. So you're
Yeah.
checking on everyone.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad someone enjoyed their food and we got a rave review about it.
And you know what else was really good about I don't know if we're just talking about resort or specifically about the wedding is the DJ. Their in-house DJ was who did the wedding and did the reception was really, really good. I felt like he very personable, like very nice guy, but also like uh he was probably the most stress-free element in terms of like
Oh.
we gave him a list of songs and things we wanted, kind of a style we wanted for
Mhm.
because we didn't provide him
Mhm.
a list of 3,000 songs, right? We like these are
Right.
ones we really want to make sure we play. These are the dance songs, whatever. But we also did ask him for a few like ad hoc requests of like random songs, especially even our um first dance song was
Mhm.
a cover of a song, right? And it was just by some
Oh.
random person on YouTube. It wasn't like it was like a YouTube cover. It was we wanted that version, and we are like, we can send you a link to Unisa, and he was like, no, 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 no problem. And he went, and this was before like Spotify or before like some of these things
Mhm.
could. So like I know he took some time and attention and went through and found a few different like rando things and he
Wow.
just took care of it I think he did a really good job through the whole night. So I will say the Moon Palace in-house DJ. I don't know if they use multiple. I don't know if it's the same person, but he provided like he was really good, and I felt like he put a lot of care into what he did.
That's true.
Oh, that's good to hear. You know what? A lot of people worry about those things. People will start off this process already saying they're going to bring the photographer, they're going to bring the DJ, they're going to bring all the things, hair and makeup. And, you know, years have gone by where now, like I said, a lot more of these teams are professionals. So we can usually help people understand, like, nope, this property, they have an excellent team. Now, unless you choose to bring someone with you, then you won't have to. But it's really good to hear that even back then in 2018, you had some really good support, at least your DJ, maybe not the pictures, and that your food was excellent. These are good things to hear. How was your wedding planning? Like the wedding planner when you were there, did you feel like everything was taken care of, or did you still have some anxiety?
I remember meeting the wedding team. They were extremely, extremely like welcoming. Just like, let's go over everything right away. This is what you requested. I do remember it shuffling around. The last person I spoke to wasn't the first person I spoke to.
Nope.
I feel like there were things happening that I can't recall right now with the first person I spoke to.
Because I was mad and we wrote a long email about it. So,
okay, thank you.
You started off with a planner. This is not abnormal. But what the problem was that we weren't getting any responses. And we were getting closer and closer. And then when we got a new person, they weren't addressing all your questions. I think there was a hiccup in the transition where instead of saying, let me find out, they were just kind of like not answering the questions. And then I got a nice scathing email from Mr. Not to me, but about them. Like, why can't they just answer these simple things? Like, we're trying to get things wrapped up. And then we pulled in management, and that's how we
there we go. Like all of a sudden, we get there, and it was like,
I don't like to escalate things unless I have to. Like, I'll try really hard to give them some grace because obviously they're doing like a wedding or 2 or 3 a day, depending on the resort. And so they're not, especially back then, they're not really on a phone answering questions. But then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, it's been a week. It's been 5 days. And if I can't answer the question, because sometimes I can, because I may know the answer to something that's general. But when you're getting down to like final payment and you're not getting answers, which is what was happening with us, then I have to escalate it. And then I get mad.
Yeah.
Because I feel like me and my team, we try our hardest to make sure you're not worried about this exact thing happening. And then when it does, you're like, good God. Just answer the poor people who have to get on a plane to get to you. But yeah, you had, I think, 3 people in total on your file. But you know, at the end of the day, it always works out. The last person is the person that knows they have to execute. So they always make sure it's all ready to go. Like that, they know they're the ones that are going to see you face to face, so they can't hide behind anything. They're like, it is all on my shoulders to make sure this works out. So I'm so glad that it ended that way. And I know it always will, but I just hate having to jump in and
100%
shake my fist. But I'm glad it worked out. I'm so glad that everything with your group, you had no issues, I think, with leading up to it, except that we did have a lot of cancellations at the end. We did shuffle some people around. But everyone followed at least the due dates. So that was great. Like they canceled in time to be able to get out. They didn't have those people that were like, oh, I need an extra week. And then they still didn't pay. We had a fairly responsible group. No, you didn't. You had a good group of people. Everybody, even the people who had to leave, like I said, were really trying their hardest to get there. And you know, things just, they don't always work out, but the people who made it are the people who made the day the way it needed to be for you. Absolutely. Is there anything I missed or that you wanted to mention to the people listening who are considering a wedding for themselves?
I mean, in general, when I talk about destination wedding, where I talk about our wedding and everything, you know, I hear a lot of people, like, advice you'll get when you're getting married is, you're going to stress about this, or you're not going to like this, or don't sweat this. And a lot of people seem to not have enjoyed their wedding, to be frank, when you talk to people, right? Like it was a blur and it was stressful and whatever. And so there was some stress leading up to it. And like you just talked about the planners and everything, there were some things, but I feel like maybe because the way it's set up, a lot of that stress and things was dealt with beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
After the day of our wedding and coming back and everything, we talked a lot about like how, no, everyone said you're gonna regret this or that, and we didn't really regret anything. We loved it. We had a great time. It was a really good decision for us. And I mean, we joked about wanting to limit family in some sense, right? Like, yeah, but maybe if you really do need a whole lot of people, it might not always be the best fit. But if you are looking for something smaller, I always recommend it to people, especially because we had a couple days before the wedding, and then we had a couple days post wedding. And during that time, it's the most fun experience I've ever had at like an all inclusive, because you're going there and there's family and friends around, and you're hanging out with your friends, and then you're seeing your parents, or you're seeing whatever, and it's a really unique experience of having everyone there, where it's not just kind of celebrating one day. You're all kind of there just hanging out and spending time with each other, which was really, really nice. And I think even for like the guests, right, it's different than you're like, oh, I got to go to a wedding and I got to die, right? Like I got to go to a wedding. I think everyone seemed to have a lot of fun because they had a very relaxed time, and everyone's staying work, so you can just kind of let loose and whatever. So yeah, it was really good, and good experience. And we all jumped in everyone at the wedding jumped in the pool in our clothes.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Afterwards, and hung out, and it was really fun, and just a very unique experience. I know we don't regret that choice at all. We really liked it.
Aw. Glad. I miss talking to you guys. I miss our Starbucks meetings. I know. That's when traffic was decent. We were just talking about that. I could never get out there anymore if I tried to meet you guys. Whoo! And that's why you moved out west. I get it. I get it now. I appreciate you both tremendously. I know it's late. I know that it is the end of the week and you have to start work again tomorrow. So thank you. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Thank you for sharing. I'll be waiting for my photo.
Okay.
The one.
Because I'm going to put it on this episode and everybody's going to see it and be like, oh, see? Look how beautiful it was. We would have never known. Nobody else ever knows. It's you, right? You know.
It's true.
They don't know. They're like, this is gorgeous. What was she talking about?
It's true.
Well, thank you again. I will sign off now. And I will try to find you again, Abena. I know you're an international spy. So I'll try to send you the link so that
yes, please
you can share with your friends. Thank you both. I love you. I miss you. Take care.
Thank you for having us. Have a good night.
Okay, we're done. Thanks for joining us today. Visit latitudeconciergetravels.com to start your own paradise celebration and catch more Latitude lessons in our next episode. This is Shalene signing off.